Welcome to the 49th episode of Black Dance Stories. Here's a note about why Black Dance Stories got here. Our dance world was pummeled by COVID-19, and Black Dance Stories have been finding ways to talk about life during this time. It has brought us closer. Our world was further turned upside down after horrible events ensued nationally and globally, bringing attention yet again to the need for the Black Lives Matter movement. Black dance artists have not been quiet since. Black dance artists have been doing the work. Black dance artists continue to make work. To stay involved, we hold these impromptu discussions to tell stories, Black dance stories. This is one action, and as we promise, we stay involved. We are a community working together to support, uphold, highlight, and celebrate Black creatives. Two of the BDS team is here. We will do our introductions, a quick one, and then we'll pass it over to our guests. I am Charmaine Warren, the founder and artistic director of Black Dance Stories. And I'll pass it over to Cynthia in 1 second, but I ask that you please visit our website to meet the rest of the BDS team.
Hello, I am Cynthia Tate. I am the creative strategist and publicist for Black Dance Stories.
Happy Black Dance Stories, BDS family. We have missed you. This special episode is in support of Okwui Okpokwasili and Soa Ratisfandrihana's upcoming shows at New York Live Arts and Dance Space Project, and for you to sit in on their conversation. I'll turn it over to both of you fabulous Black dance artists. Okwui, maybe you should go first since you've been here.
Yes, I want to say thank you so much, Black Dance Stories. It's my second conversation, and I'm so honored to be a part of this, to be in community with all of you. I have been a gestural movement maker, artist, multi-performance strategist for the last 30 years, and I am a part of a company called Sweat Variant that's dedicated to making the collaborative work between myself and Peter Bourne, as well as creating opportunities, grant making, residencies for other artists, artists of color, queer artists within New York City. Soa, please.
Yeah. Yes, well, thank you. I'm so honored to participate in this conversation. Thank you so much for this invitation, and I'm so excited about it. And thank you, Okwui. I'm a huge fan, so it means a lot to me to have this conversation with you. I'm based in Brussels, Belgium. So I grew up in Europe from parents that are from Madagascar. I'm a dancer and choreographer, and I'm interested in diasporic memories. I like to create shows that cross choreography, but also music and storytelling. And yes, so I'm very happy and excited to come to New York City to share work as well. That was my first work called Groove, and it was made in 2021. Yeah.
Well, Sue, I'm a fan of yours. I got to see your work, which was not Groove, and I'm sorry I'm going to miss Groove because I'm doing something at Dance Space, and I'm sorry I won't see it. But I was really thrilled with that work, and it was really exciting the way you work with duration and the way you explore time, and you have patience, so we can see sort of the movement unfold. It's like we can sort of start to see lineage of a particular movement. So can you just talk more about your strategies around like movement memory, like what kinds of vocabularies that you're playing with, and how in performance do we sometimes, how is it being revealed what these movement vocabularies, like what they're coming from? Because that's one thing I remember. I felt like, oh, it starts here and then ends up here, anyway.
Mm,
We're
yeah.
going to leave you to this, but we're here.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Okay, thank
We
you so
feel
much.
you.
Thank you. Yes, so yes, because I've been presenting a work called Fampitaha Fampit Famptan, which means in Malagasy language, the comparison, the transmission, and the rivalry. I think I was really interested in the dances that somehow that I could have embodied during my experience as a dancer. But also, I'm very interested in the context of those dances because I've studied ballet and also contemporary dance in Europe. And I think historically, I've been more busy with postmodern dance and minimalist dance, but that has roots in Baroque, classical ballet, all this lineage. And somehow this took a lot of space within my body, and I had to erase somehow fragments of parts of my body, of my identity, to make space for that. And I think I needed to rework on that and to make space for what really mattered to me, and what could have been forgotten or taken from me somehow. And I've been several times to Madagascar to visit the community, the dance community there, and I got to learn some dances with choreographers from the scene, and um, and I could feel that somehow I was not that lost, that I was related also, but especially in terms of spirit, the spirit of the dances. And is this that I wanted to bring back on stage somehow and to reveal. So I was really interested in the body transformation and how somehow I clean myself of all the dances that I have, that I have to learn somehow, and how I make space for something else also, that for dances that have been craving for, that my body was like calling. And
Love that.
so it's really like this trajectory that I was really interested in, and to give a sense like of context, then I use like props and things like a scarf with the that recall also like the colonialism also times, and
Yeah.
all those things, just to set up like the context of each dances somehow.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, how do you feel? I mean, because obviously Groove was your first solo work, but I
Yeah.
saw your collaborative work, or I saw your multi-person work. And how are those strategies, like how do you translate that to a bigger group? Like what's the relationship like when you bring that into the collective, and what happens? Do you find that they're also trying to find space, make space for other vocabularies or for remembering
Mhm.
vocabularies? Yeah, can you talk about that?
Mm, I think I would be also really curious about your strategies as well. I think um, when it comes to collaboration, I think it always starts with a meal, like we around the table. It's all these conversations that we've been like sharing about different diaspora, because in Brussels, like there's so many diasporas, like people coming from Congo, coming from actually in the group, there's people coming from Senegal, Mali. Um, Guadeloupe, Martinique, Caribbean islands, Haiti, and so it was really about like how do we relate to our to our countries of origin, and from that, yeah, from this shared conversation, it's how we embody it like differently. And even though we have the same questions, we don't have the same response. And the idea of sharing and gathering all these things and making it together, I think that
Yeah.
was the yeah, it's like cooking somehow, like a big yeah, broth, yeah, getting together.
I
But I
love
would be very
I love
curious as
that. No, but I love this, the metaphor of the meal, that kind of sharing, right? It's just like, are everybody bringing something that is uniquely theirs and adding it to the overall space, and then taking the time, letting it cook, letting it all settle, and then sharing it together. That's a beautiful way to think about a collective creation. Yeah.
Mm.
Um,
and and for you, what is your artistic process?
I
What
mean, I think that mine is like shifts for different performances, or shifts
Mm,
um, for different contexts. But I am also interested in memory and fragmentation, and what can be, is there something embedded almost in the DNA that can be extracted, right? Like
Mm,
how are certain movements, you're doing a movement and, it might look like, a village dance, or it might look like something that's coming off of, the Bronx in the 80s. Like how are there these, or oh my goodness, is that a little like salsa? Like how are these
mm,
things in the body emerging? And so I do like to just give time for people to actually have long form improvisations. I work with my partner Peter Bourne, who creates these sonic landscapes. And so in our
mm,
rehearsals, in our practices, we often we'll build things from text, right? We'll ask people to build phrases, and then we give them time to explore the phrases alone and then together. And
mm.
and it's interesting to see what emerges from their bodies, what breaks down. Um, so it's I think a common thread in the way I perform is trying to give people time. And because I work mostly with femmes of color, because I just feel that I was struggling when I was, as I was in the earlier parts of my career, to find a liberated space, a space where people didn't have some idea of what my body should be doing or who I was.
Mm.
I wanted space to become multiple. And so I try to do my best to make space for those folks to become multiple, surprise, sometimes have things that are recognizable and then unrecognizable, to be not so easily legible. So I don't know. That's it. I know that's it's strange because I'm like, does this all seem so abstract? But I'm really invested in, and I love and value the information within a body,
Yes. Mm.
and I want time to learn and see what emerges, and even for the person in that body to have time to like surprise themselves. So, and then I had, yeah, so, and I've spent some time working with image work. I spent some time doing like body weather in Japan. So it's strange because I love that you went back to Madagascar also, and you know, um, and had these conversations with artists, dance artists who are doing these movements. I mean, do you feel like, is there within Madagascar, did you find um, that people were holding on to certain traditional movements, or were they also sort of taking it and playing with it? Also kind of remixing a postmodern kind of vocabulary with other vocabularies. What was that conversation?
Yeah, actually it's really interesting because it's a real like collective work. I think there's many, as if like there's different um, yeah, how do you say that, like positions, like there's some really interested in like keeping alive the traditions and to make it still relevant today, when some others are more interested in like the creation and how to somehow transform it or make it uh, contemporary in a way. And there's others, and I think there's also like a conversation now happening. So that's why we're trying to work on this bridge between the diaspora, the European diaspora, with the Malagasy people living there. So what's the conversation, and how can we be rooted in different places? And this conversation is really interesting. So I think depending on, as long as we have this conversation between each other, then it's still like alive and it's still like super dynamic. And I think that's what makes it like, uh, sorry, I missed the words, but
No, I wish, you know what, you're speaking, you don't, you have many more words than I will ever have because you have multiple languages within you. I have, I'm jealous that you could even try to find other words when I'm,
um,
anyway,
no.
but you mean like, so are you talking about just sort of, I love you saying the different positions and strategies and concerns, like about from like holding on to something that might be traditional, trying to make it relevant versus people who are thinking like there's tradition. I don't know. I was just thinking about like being alive, right? That tradition lives in you and doesn't have to look
Yeah,
like what it may have looked like or can, right? So what
yeah,
is a new conversation, and what are the ways that people might be interested in like trying to movement, trying to do their work and show it to a larger community even outside of Madagascar. And I wonder like what does that require, you know what I mean? And
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I don't know if I found the word that you were looking for, but I just think it is complicated, right? Because that's another thing. I'm like, how many Malagasy artists are like sort of based and located in Madagascar and traveling and doing movement work, and like because are they going to Brussels? Are they moving out into the world and share? You know what I mean? What's that? What is there that exchange, or could you?
It does exist, but it's
Tough.
still a bit how I could say that, yeah, timid. Like
Yeah,
it's in a way that's also like in terms of um, the economy also is totally different. Also, like living in Europe, I know that, for example, I can come, I can go, and I can come back, I can leave also. Like I
yeah,
have this privilege of traveling, and which is not the case of everyone. But there's some artists actually, because the scene in Africa is there's like the Biennale of Africa, for example,
yeah,
that happened in Morocco last year, for example, and it's like also an active scene also in Senegal. So in Burkina Faso as well. I think
yeah,
there's a lot of things going on, but it's like but it's happening in the continent. But for example, in Europe, there's not so many Malagasy choreographers that get to come
each other.
to introduce the work, which is like a pity.
Yeah. That's
But
really exciting
yeah,
to talk about the African Biennale. I always knew about, Germaine Acogny,
yeah.
the École des Sables in Senegal, but, I've never been there. Have you been there?
Oh no! Actually, I wanted to ask you if you've been there. No, I've
No,
been
no. I know, Nora Chipalmire, has been
there.
there and is also, creating a space in Zimbabwe. And, I know there are places. Yes, I mean, I also feel that, I hope on Black Dance Stories, and maybe there has been because there have been so many episodes. I do not know. I'm sorry, I have not watched all of them, but maybe there's a conversation that has already happened around all of the dance work that has been going on in Africa. Because I know Charmaine has been deeply invested, right, in working with dance artists and artists across the continent, and also bringing them here as part of Dance Africa in Brooklyn. Here meaning Brooklyn, excuse me. I know we're here is not anyway. So it's exciting. I hope that there has I personally have not shown any work on the continent, and
Mm.
that is a dream. So
I really wish that for you. Yeah, it would be
thank
amazing.
thank
It would
you.
be amazing. Wow.
So I just also like, can you talk about how does it feel like? Cause so I'm assuming you're in the city right now, right? You're in Brooklyn right now, or where are you right
No, not yet. Actually, I'm traveling tomorrow. I'm still in Brussels now.
now? Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
well, what are you looking forward to? I mean, what are you excited about? Cause this is your New York premiere of Groove, isn't that right?
Yeah,
All right. What do you?
yeah. Wow. I mean, I wish. I don't know. It's no, it's super exciting. I think because also like the yeah the dance history also like in the States in New York is it's deeply related also to the dance history also in Europe and I mean like there's so many conversations happening also at the same time. It's like it's a vibration also. I'm very
Yeah.
looking forward to share the work and see what will be like the conversation, the dialogue. um, I'm very curious about it.
And I love groove, you know, because you're going to talk about even just the title of groove, right? Let people know that you're going to come, we're going to come, and there's going to be a groove that they're going to fall into. I just, you know, I mean, I saw that you talked about, you know, the influences from, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting is it the Madison or something?
Yeah, because it's the first dance I've learned actually.
What is that?
The Madison dance?
Yes, I don't know. Yeah.
You know, it's the line dance. So you go 4 steps to the right and then 4 steps to the left, two in the back,
Oh,
front, and then little jump, and then you turn like and it's like
oh,
a square, and you
not like the
change the
electric
direction.
slide. I mean, I'm gonna age myself, but back in the day, we had something called the electric slide, and yeah, you do the
Oh,
shuffles here,
actually, yeah, I love this.
that kind of thing. And then
Pretty close.
there are so many line dances. I mean, I guess there must be like an infinite number of variations of line dances, and to think about that in these times makes me happy. Um, but
Yeah.
but you talk also about like there's your influences. So from the Madison to like anime and Ghost in the Shell. I was like, whoa. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
do you feel like I don't know how can you talk about groove? Um, I don't know. How would you talk about it? And because it sounds super expansive. And again, I'm sorry that I'm going to miss it. But
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna miss your work because I wish I could see you on stage because I saw you in videos, like in so many videos. I'm like, like your textures, your embodiments. It's like the poetry is really beyond.
thank you.
I
But
really wish I
groove.
could.
But tell us like because groove sounds like in your one body, all of this. It sounds so
Hmm.
expansive. But there's going to be a whole world. Like talk. Can you talk about it without giving it away? And like yeah, from
Yeah,
Madison to Ghost in the Shell to like
yeah. Actually, it's really like for me, groove. Like the groove is like. Because at that time, it was in 2021, I was asking myself, how would you like to dance? Because I used to be like a dancer for other companies. And I used to work a long time for Anne-Theresa de Keersmaker.
yes.
So it's more like Belgian artist, minimalist, postmodern dance with a ballet lineage. And at some point, I was kind of lost in my body. And I was like, how do I want to dance today? I think I want to find back the groove also, and yeah, so it's more a pursuit. Somehow it's kind of a quest, and the piece is a bit like built dramaturgically. It's really like a quest of going through all the dances that I've learned, all the influences, all the things that kept me in vibration, and through like small transformation, the body like evolve and get into a sense of like elevation. I mean, that's what I wanted to to create. I don't know if I managed to do it, but it's like the quest and the intention was there. And
I
yeah, I
love
think
that.
yeah.
Yes, like the dance as a quest, as a discovery, right? It's like again speaking to how you're breaking down or trying to kind of map out like a lineage, right? Like what is the thing that we might have inherited? What are the things that we've learned? How do we feel about each thing? How do we process all of it into creating a dance vocabulary that is somehow uniquely now and uniquely ours?
Mm, 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 mm.
But that's an ongoing quest to understand how the body wants to talk or how the
Yeah,
body wants to dance or how the body wants to sing and with
yeah.
whom. No, so, seriously, because it's just it's I think it's really exciting like because I one of the things that has been complicated you know in New York is like you know what are the economies that allow certain performers from certain parts of the world to come here and be in conversation with the community, the movement community, the dance community? How do we all feel like we are in this broader community and not siloed and separate? And so I
Mm,
think it's really excited, you know, that you're going to come and you know what I mean we you know and you're going to be exploring very clearly, right? The lineage of all of the vocabularies, the dance vocabularies you have put on, the dance vocabularies that are within you, and like what emerges and what is the thing that you're you're making, right? And it's not even that you make, but the ongoing quest of the body to be like discovering and making is really
Mm.
exciting to me, I think.
Mm. And,
Um,
and and for you, I have a question. What is like when you start like a process for a show? What is the first spark? What's
yeah, I think it is it's language. I am really interested in kind of like, and I've been and maybe it's I've been dealing with the same thing since I've been making work, which is like, what can you remember about what came before you
mm,
somehow? Like, kind of like, how did we get here at this moment? And particularly from like a black femme, black girl space. Like, what are
mm,
all of the ways, you know, that your body has been marked and seen, and what is the critique or argument you might have with it? What are the dream spaces, imagined spaces to go somewhere else completely? Um,
mm,
what are hints of sort of radical dreamers in your past that start to
mm,
work their way into your body? Um, yeah, what are ways that you're both a stranger to yourself and somehow also always known? I don't know, like, what's the complications like of all of the information that you have given? What might be secretly hidden and can be opened, and how do you make new meaning out of your
mm,
body? So it's, but it usually begins with text, stories that I want to tell. I had a piece many years ago that I did called Bronx Gothic, which was thinking about, it was thinking about, you know, what it meant to be a girl coming of age, a black girl in the Bronx, and both feeling sort of the intensity of the shifts in your body, longing, desire, but also dealing with types of sexual violence. But
mm,
like, and just how do these things move literally in your body, but also and it started with an exchange of notes between two girls, right? So it was
mm,
just, it was really like a container for a secret space to contend with struggle and newness and desire, and
mm.
pain, so
Wow.
but it's like, but it came, yes, but it was, so it was that kind of container. um,
Mm,
and and even though and then it had to do with memory. What do we remember and what's true
mm,
about what's coming up in our bodies? So I feel like most of my work has to do with um, all of a sudden there are the body containing all of these kind of conflicting, um, um, or I should say, no, a body containing um, sort of the impact of what's
mm,
happened, but also what is in there. Like, right? What is there a possible, is there a pure space, like without the impact? What would have happened, and how do these things collide? And then what's the
mm,
manifestation of these things in the body? But
mm,
but so I'm really interested also in image work and working with text, and then, yeah, and then seeing how the body is in response to it. So
oh, this is amazing. And the text, actually, you do you write the text before
yes,
before?
yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
often do. Yeah, I often write text, and then I do movement that's in some type of dynamic relationship to the text. And then my partner will also look at the text and be creating like sonic landscapes. So then I
Mm,
explore the movement within a sonic landscape.
mm,
So it's just all of these, there are all of these relationships that are constantly in play. And then as I work with other people, the joy of bringing in collaborators, like when you talk about sharing a meal, and maybe I should start doing that, is like sitting and having a meal first. But usually I share certain texts with people and ask them to sort of explore how they might feel about, to explore gesture and vocabulary from the text and play around, for long periods of time. It's really fun.
Oh, this is amazing. Yeah.
Can you believe it? It's time.
It's time.
And
Yeah.
y'all, as Cynthia and I were just saying, y'all are just getting into yet another groove.
Ah,
Oh, hey, but Black Dance Stories must talk to dancers across the continent.
but
And
don't you?
well, we only did one time talk to, I'm going to forget the name right now,
Because you
but
know so
no,
many. You
we
like
know so many.
you have been working over decades to
Mhm.
like create this bridge.
Well, clearly we've started with you and Sua. We're going to make a big trip and we're going somewhere, everywhere. Right, Cynthia?
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, I want to go. I want to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think
And
this is just the big
Madagascar. Wow.
what I know. Exactly what I was thinking. Sua and Okwui.
Shit. No, I
Oh,
would just be there with my French translator or whatever,
right.
just trying to be like, just trying to absorb.
Talking stuff,
I would be,
listening to
yes,
stuff.
exactly. I would be,
Yeah, right. Absorbing stuff. Well, you two, I'm so sad you're gonna miss each other when you're on this land here in the US, but I hope that because of Black Dance Stories, this is the beginning of yet a bigger, bigger thing.
Yeah.
Bigger thing.
I
Yeah.
would love to pursue this conversation. Yeah. Someone
Yeah.
else. Yeah, it would
yeah.
be
And
amazing.
I hope Groove just, I hope it's New York is not its last, do you know what I mean? Like, do you have, I should have asked this. Do you have other dates for Groove? Like, where are you traveling in the US or are you going back to Europe? What's the,
Yeah, I'm going back to Europe after that. Yeah.
and then so where does it happen again in Europe? Like, what's your, do you have a touring schedule?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's mostly in the coming months. It will be in France, in different cities in France, in Germany as well, and also and actually we will perform in Madagascar in next year. Yeah.
Nice.
So this is it will be the first time I will present
In
group
Madagascar?
and Fampita Fampit Fampitan in Madagascar. So it
Congrat-
means a lot to me. Yeah, yeah, a lot, a lot,
Congratulations.
a lot. Oh,
Now
thank
we usually end our episodes with something to drink, so I'm glad you
Oh,
reminded me, Okwui.
oh, I
So
was
do you
thinking
have
some
any
tea.
water or anything nearby?
You know what? Let me get a bigger thing of water. Can I go, or is that weird if I leave
Yeah,
this is fine.
yeah, this is
It's not a
fine.
lot.
And so we do cheers to going on and making good trouble.
Yes.
you.
Good trouble. Go
Vamos.
make good trouble. Take a
Yes.
sip. And then I'll ask Cynthia to take us out. But this, we love y'all.
Oh,
Oh,
I love y'all too. I love y'all too.
yeah.
Thank you for this conversation because it's been such a terrible, terrible time. And I have to say that I've been feeling, you know, I think a lot of us have been feeling really, really it's been bleak. It is,
The need to be closer. We've been feeling the need to be
yes,
closer.
yes. To be
Mhm.
closer and to remember
Mhm.
that there is, yeah, that we value each other. Our
Yeah.
Yeah.
lives have value. I don't know. So it's yeah, thank you for this. I'm
Yeah,
happy.
welcome. Any last word from you, Sua, from you, Okwui, and then we'll really turn it over to Cynthia.
Oh, sorry. So please.
Well, really, I'm so thankful for this conversation and really, yeah, for me, I hope it's just the beginning of this conversation that we'll pursue it. Thank you so much, Okwui, and for everything you're doing. It's really important, and thank you also to you, Charmaine and Cynthia, because it's a beautiful work as well, and it's thank you for creating this bridge and this connection. So yeah, hope to see you soon.
Okwui?
Well, thank you. I'm so honored to have spent some time with you here, Sua. I do hope that we can continue this conversation because, yeah, let's stay alive. We value each other. We value bodies. We value difference. We value what we can learn from each other. Thank you so much, Charmaine and Cynthia, for making this space for us to have these conversations, across generations, across cultures, and across concerns. So, yeah, practices. So, thank you.
Thank you
Yes,
so much.
yes, yes. And thank you for answering the call, Okwui and Sua, and for everything that you do. Thank you to the public. Thank you all for tuning in. We hope that you're leaving this conversation with something meaningful to reflect on and carry with you. And if you want to experience more of these incredible artists, you can catch them live this March. You can catch Okwui at Dance Space Project on March 12th and Sua at New York Live Arts on March 11th and 12th. But before we go, a quick reminder to like, comment, and share this video with your community. It really helps these conversations to reach more people who care about Black dance and the artists shaping the field of dance, just dance, period, right? And you can stay connected with Black Dance Stories on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and now on Substack. All of these links are in the description box below, so you can stay tuned on everything that we're building. And once again, thank you all for your continued love and support. Stay involved, my friends.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.